Hello, St. Bart's. Chris Myers here. I'm standing in the sanctuary and I'm standing next to our wreath of testimonies. We've been talking about this as a staff and as a vestry of just how incredible it is to see over the course of the last few months 3 of these wreaths fill up with ribbons, and each of these ribbons representing an answered prayer, a thanksgiving, some way that God has moved in each of your lives that have participated in this. And we were talking about how great it would be to collect some of those stories, especially as we move into a season of Thanksgiving, even as we move into Advent and towards Christmas. We want to recognize what God has done in our midst, the ways that He has moved among us, the ways that God has answered prayers, the ways that He's been active in our lives. So we want to collect some of the stories that each of these ribbons represent. So there's a link below in the newsletter where you can go to a form online and simply share a story related to one of these ribbons. Or if you have a story of Thanksgiving that you didn't necessarily tie a ribbon for, we'd love to collect those as well, because we want to be a people who celebrate. We want to be a people of Thanksgiving. We want to be a people who, like the doxology says, praise God from whom all blessings flow, recognizing what the book of James says, that the Father of lights is the one from whom every good and perfect gift comes from. So we want to collect those stories and share some of those stories over the next coming weeks as we move into a season of gratitude, as we move into Advent, a season of waiting, and a season of celebration at Christmas time. So if you feel comfortable sharing one of those stories, we'd love for you to fill out the form. If you have a story like that to share that doesn't necessarily represent one of these ribbons, we'd love for you to share that as well. So please click that link, please take advantage of that. We've got a lot of things coming up as we move into the Advent season. Our Advent wreath making party will be on Sunday, December 3rd. We have our lessons and carols service coming up, so make plans to be part of all that, and we'll have our Christmas Eve service as well. And just a reminder that as we move towards the end of the calendar year, that we have sent out a letter asking you all to consider and to reconsider your giving and any end of the year giving plans that you might have to remember St. Bart's in that planning. We're trying to raise $300,000 between now and the end of the year, recognizing that for us and for many churches and nonprofits, we raise about 25% of our budget in the last few weeks of the calendar year. So we're asking you to prayerfully consider giving, and we're asking you to prayerfully think about the things that we've talked about in these sermons over the last few weeks about generosity, about the tithe, and about the principle of first fruits. Those are all things that we've been talking about and teaching more directly on, and we would love for you to engage as an act of faith. If you're not engaged with a tithe yet, we would love for you to step into that or step towards that. As I said in my own sermon about this a couple weeks ago, start where you are, not where you think you should be. So we would just challenge you and faithfully ask you to think about where you are at the end of the year, what God has done in your life, and how He might be asking you to contribute to the life of St. Bart's financially. So we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Looking forward to this Sunday where we'll have my friend David Ritchie from Amarillo preaching for us. So please make sure that you're here for that. It will be a wonderful time. He's a great friend, and I can't wait to share him with you guys. Have a great week. We love you.